In a crowded lecture hall, a speaker steps up to the podium. Their slides are flawless, their notes perfectly organized, and their delivery confident. Then, midway through the presentation, they fumble a word. A small stumble, barely noticeable, but the room reacts immediately. People smile, a few chuckle quietly, and suddenly the atmosphere feels lighter. That tiny mistake didn't ruin the presentation. On the contrary, it made the speaker more relatable, approachable, and likable. This is the essence of the Pratfall Effect, a surprising psychological principle. Small, harmless mistakes can increase a person's charm and appeal, especially when they are otherwise competent. It may seem counterintuitive. Society often teaches that perfection is the path to respect and influence, but decades of research reveal that the opposite can sometimes be true. Humans are drawn to competence mixed with a touch of vulnerability. Flawless individuals can inspire awe, but slight imperfections make them relatable and human. The story of the Pratfall Effect begins in the 1960s with social psychologist Elliot Aronson. He designed an experiment to explore how mistakes affect likability. Volunteers were asked to watch someone answering questions on a quiz. Some observed a highly competent individual, others someone less skilled. Then the expert made a small blunder, a spilled coffee, a slip in speech, or a minor error. The results were astonishing. Observers rated the competent person who made a small mistake as more likable than the same person who performed flawlessly. The flaw humanized them, bridging the gap between admiration and relatability. Humans are wired for connection. Perfection creates distance. People admire it but do not feel connected. Slight errors signal humanity, authenticity, and approachability. This combination of skill and vulnerability engages attention, fosters trust, and makes interactions more meaningful. Consider real-life examples. In the world of business, a CEO presenting to investors might pause, mispronounce a term, or trip lightly over a word. Audiences often respond positively. The mistake signals honesty and authenticity. The person is competent but human, approachable rather than untouchable. This subtle shift makes the audience more receptive to ideas, creating both connection and influence. The effect extends beyond public speaking. In everyday social interactions, people who admit minor mistakes or show small imperfections often become more relatable and likable. A colleague who laughs at a small error in a report, a friend who fumbles a word in a story, or an influencer who posts a candid, slightly messy behind-the-scenes photo, these moments resonate with audiences far more than perfect, polished presentations. Imperfections create connection. Even small errors can build credibility. It may sound paradoxical, but research shows that when someone demonstrates competence alongside minor flaws, observers interpret the person as more genuine and trustworthy. Perfection can feel staged or intimidating, but vulnerability combined with skill creates engagement. Social settings provide countless examples. A high-performing student who occasionally makes a small mistake in class discussions is often more approachable to peers than someone who answers every question flawlessly. A teacher who admits to minor mistakes builds rapport and encourages participation. In relationships, partners who show imperfection in small ways, forgetting a minor detail, spilling a drink, can become more endearing rather than less. The brain perceives this as evidence of honesty and relatability. Even in online spaces, the Pratfall Effect operates. Social media accounts that share slight imperfections, typos, candid behind-the-scenes moments, casual missteps, engage audiences more than perfectly curated feeds. Followers feel a human connection, enhancing trust and engagement. Influencers leverage this intuitively, sharing small flaws to build authenticity and loyalty. The Pratfall Effect is not about making major mistakes or undermining credibility. It is about harmless, small errors that humanize. Overdoing mistakes or being careless can have the opposite effect. The key is a subtle balance: competent, confident, and occasionally vulnerable. This combination fosters admiration while remaining relatable. Historical figures illustrate this naturally. Think of iconic leaders, scientists, or entertainers who were highly skilled yet occasionally displayed small, endearing flaws. Abraham Lincoln, known for intelligence and eloquence, was also humble and self-deprecating. Steve Jobs, a visionary entrepreneur, occasionally showed human impatience or quirks that made him memorable and relatable. These minor imperfections did not reduce their competence, they enhanced their charisma. The Pratfall Effect also enhances persuasion. People are more receptive to requests or suggestions from those who display a mix of competence and slight vulnerability. A teacher correcting an error in a lesson, a speaker fumbling a word, or a professional admitting minor uncertainty can increase audience engagement and influence. Observers perceive honesty and approachability, lowering resistance and building connection. Applying this principle in daily life is practical and subtle. Public speakers can embrace small, natural stumbles instead of over-rehearsing every word. Professionals can admit minor errors or ask for advice in ways that increase trust. In personal interactions, showing occasional small mistakes, laughing at minor clumsiness, or acknowledging slight oversights can make relationships more authentic. Even online, sharing candid moments enhances engagement without compromising authority or credibility. Awareness is critical. Understanding the Pratfall Effect allows one to leverage it consciously rather than leaving likability to chance. Competence should remain evident. The mistakes should be small, harmless, and authentic. The result is enhanced relatability, connection, and trust. Everyday observation reveals this effect constantly. A packed seminar where the speaker stumbles slightly, a popular social media influencer who posts a candid moment, or a colleague who laughs at their own small blunder. These all demonstrate the magnetic power of subtle imperfection. Humans are drawn to authenticity. Perfect presentations may impress, but slight flaws create lasting connection. This principle also explains why stories and experiences resonate. People remember not just accomplishments, but human vulnerability. Minor mistakes create narrative depth. They transform someone from an abstract figure of competence into a relatable, memorable presence. Observers engage emotionally, feel closer, and develop trust. Practical application is simple. Demonstrate competence consistently but allow for small imperfections. Use humor, candid acknowledgement, or minor mistakes to create relatability. Whether in professional settings, social environments, or online engagement, the Pratfall Effect enhances likability and influence naturally. Those seeking to understand human behavior and influence can apply this insight immediately. Observe interactions, notice how slight errors impact perception, and practice balanced authenticity. Share stories, laugh at mistakes, and acknowledge small slips. People respond positively, trust increases, and engagement deepens. For viewers interested in further insights, this channel explores hidden psychological forces that shape decision-making, likability, and influence. Subscribe to learn more and comment on experiences where a small mistake increased connection or trust. The next video will reveal the curiosity gap, showing how creating intrigue and unanswered questions can captivate attention and drive engagement in ways that few realize. In the end, perfection is not the secret to influence or connection. Competence, combined with subtle vulnerability, creates authenticity, approachability, and trust. The Pratfall Effect proves that small mistakes are not failures, they are bridges to connection, making people more likable, memorable, and human.